I tracked that dirtbag for 2 years, and when I finally bring him down, you turn me into an ice cube for my trouble. Thanks, but no thanks.
Demolition Man is one of 2 movies I recommend to anyone who feels that there's something wrong with the current times, especially if you are in the generation that grew up in the 80s and early 90s, but can't really put your finger on what it actually is. The movie that came out in 1993 was supposed to be nothing more than a vehicle for an action movie starring Stallone, and turned out to be rather prophetic. How good or bad is the movie itself? Let's find out. I'm Meffistoe. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel because this is my review of the movie Demolition Man.
You're dead, Spartan. Forgot to say Simon Says.
In the early 90s, the 80s action stars needed to evolve. Terminator 2 blew the doors off from what you can do back in '91, so Arnold and Sylvester kept topping each other and trying to do more sophisticated stories while doing their regular action hero stuff. The story of the movie begins introducing our main characters. Stallone is John Spartan, a cop that does what he can to save the day with complete disregard to private property, thus dubbing him Demolition Man.
How can you justify destroying a $7 million mini-mall to rescue a girl whose ransom was only $25,000?
Fuck you, lady!
Good answer.
Across from him is Simon Phoenix, an arch criminal willing to do anything and everything to get money and live how he pleases with radical disregard of his fellow human beings.
Is it cold in here? Or is it just me?
Spartan hunts down Phoenix to a warehouse in order to capture him before he kills a bus that he hijacked and its inhabitants ransomed. He manages to do so, but after all that's said and done, the warehouse explodes and the bus full of people is found underneath with all the passengers dead. No, it's not 57 passengers.
There must be 20 or 30. They're everywhere. See that, Captain? I told him. He said he didn't care.
Spartan and Phoenix end up in a new kind of prison, one that freezes its criminals and stores them. Cut to the year 2032 on a routine audit, Phoenix manages to release himself and escape the cryo prison.
Identify code 187. MDK. Murder, death, kill.
This immediately alerts the police as they rush in to find Simon. Alas, it seems like the police is ill-equipped to deal with the situation because murders and violence are a thing of the past. Phoenix manages to dispatch of them and continue on with his mission.
We're police officers. We're not trained to handle this kind of violence.
An officer by the name of Lenina Huxley manages to convince her captain that the force needs an old-school cop to deal with an old-school criminal, and they thaw out Spartan. John is awakened, but he faces a rude awakening. Not only does he discover that Phoenix has escaped the prison, but that the world around him has changed for the worse. All the things he used to do are now banned and considered criminal. Nevertheless, Spartan knows that the police are no match for a psycho such as Phoenix, and he starts the chase.
Phoenix is going for a gun, plain and simple. Trust me, he's going for a gun.
Because John is John, he rubs the authorities the wrong way, but he gets things done. And as the plot thickens, we discover that the head of this utopia, Dr. Raymond Cocteau, is not as benevolent as we're led to believe, and there are more sinister things at play.
So much for the seashells. See you in a few minutes.
I absolutely adore this film. First and foremost, it is chock full of comedy. It is mostly down to the fish out of water jokes, as Stallone is the man taking out of the 90s and set in a post-apocalyptic world that has been sanitized by alcohol gel. Curse words are not allowed, smoking is not allowed, the music is bland, and even the food is, generally speaking, not allowed. Everything is politically correct, non-offensive, and green. Sounds familiar?
That anything not good for you is bad, hence illegal. Alcohol, caffeine, contact sports, meat.
Are you shitting me?
The comedy comes from a man that does stuff that you're not supposed to. but he does it effortlessly, and this shocks to the very core the people that are around him.
This little shelf with 3 seashells on it.
He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells.
Apart from behavior, it is also a guy that deals with new technology. Could you imagine someone trying to negotiate with a smartphone when they've never seen a cordless phone before? I mean, except from grandma. The big standout in this movie is actually Wesley Snipes. Fresh out of his success from Passenger 57, where he played a good guy, Snipes is thrown into the wolves by playing the bad guy, and he goes all out. Almost every scene he's trying to ham it up with some jokes, and it doesn't matter if they land or not. He plays the psychopath so good. He is one of the best villain of the 90s, and I'm pretty sure Watch Mojo has a list of this somewhere. He's a credible threat to Stallone's Spartan, and just helps to make this movie much, much better.
Bad aim, Blondie.
Spartan? John Spartan? Oh shit, they let anybody into this century. What the hell are you doing here?
As for the female lead, I'm not sure if you like Sandra Bullock or not, but in this one, she plays it perfectly. She was innocent, lovable, and a bit crazy. She can hold her own, but at most times, she seems smitten by Spartan. But she is well positioned to be the best bridge to gap between the old world and the new world, since of course she's set up to be a relic vintage collector of sorts. This bridge gap allows her to be the perfect partner and gradually ease Spartan into this new millennia.
Let's go blow this guy.
Away. Blow this guy away.
Whatever.
The dystopian future depicted in Demolition Man isn't too far from our own. I said as much in my intro. In fact, the movie has been called pretty prophetic, mostly because it got all the technology spot on. This is a future that is very grounded. Unlike Back to the Future's flying cars, we have CCTV everywhere, cops using tablets, phones are mostly camera-based, a fact that gave us this funny and a bit sexy moment.
Hi, Martin. You know, I was thinking. Oh my God, I'm sorry, wrong number.
We have electric cars, self-driving cars, and of course, food substitutes for meat, dairy, and salts that we see prevalent today. The tech plays a big role in enforcing behavior, which we encounter every day on the internet, whether it's on social media or on YouTube. Heck, there's even a guy receiving mental therapy over the internet, a la BetterHelp.
Lately, I just don't feel like there's anything special about me.
You are an incredibly sensitive man who inspires joy feelings in all those around you.
In fact, the movie even predicts the pandemic, but not in the way you think.
After AIDS, there was NRS. After NRS, there was UBT.
This is a must-see movie that I will recommend to watch because it's fun, and a movie I'll recommend discussing the meanings of. I'm sure that the vision that created this film was not going for those particular messages, but I wonder what the creators really think of it now. I mean, really think of it, knowing what we know after all these years. This review might be watched in about 10 years and the meaning might be lost, but the current times being the early 2024, it feels like the world that was presented in Demolition Man in the year 2032 is really just a hop, skip, and a jump from our own.
He's finally matched his meat. You really licked his ass.
That's met his match and kicked his ass.
I thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this review, smash that like button to help me out and beat that algorithm. Check out other reviews that I've done in the past, or check out our live Saturday show where we cover all sorts of amazing movies, including a deep dive into this one. And remember, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. I'll see you on the next video.